Happy July 13th and greetings from East Tennessee. It's Travis again, and today we're on Finley Cane Trail. And before we get started, let me give you some directions on how to get here, and those are coming up right now. If you're driving from the Maryville-Alcoa area, you'll pass through the city of Townsend, and then you're going to come up here to the Townsend Y. If you turn left, that will take you back towards Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. But today we are going to go to the right towards Cades Cove. You'll get to pass through this tunnel, which is always pretty cool. The Bote Mountain trailhead on your left, and then parking to Schoolhouse Gap Trail is here on your right. Alright, so here we are. Takes about 10 minutes to get here. So over on the right is Turkey Pen Ridge and Crib Gap Trail. But we're going over here to the left, and luckily there's no traffic, so I can kind of make this a little turn. I wouldn't recommend this when traffic is busy like it normally is, but like I said, over on the other side is Turkey Pen Ridge and Crib Gap Trail, and on this side we have Lead Cove Trail and Finley Cane. So this one parking spot, you got access to 4 different trails. So let me get situated and we'll get started. And as you can see, there is quite a bit of parking here on both sides of the road. So that makes it that much easier too. You can usually find a parking space. All right, before we get started here, a few things you want to make sure you've got right now because it is so hot out here. Number one, plenty of fluids. Water, definitely. I add a little bit of Mio Energy into mine. It gives a little bit of flavor and caffeine for the energy kick to help get me up the mountain. Right now, the bears are pretty active, so I would recommend getting a can of bear spray and have it readily available just in case. Never had any issues, but definitely a good thing to have. And lastly, some bug spray. Right now the bugs are miserable, and I battled them a couple weeks ago, and so I am going to spray down from head to toe before I get started this go around. So here we go. Maybe we'll put some on my hat because, man, I could not keep the biting flies off of me last time. So hopefully that'll help. We'll give it a shot anyway. Alright, now we can get started. Alright, so this trail actually starts off and it walks right down here beside the parking area. So we're going to head in this direction. Alright, so sunrise this morning was officially 6:30, and it's now 6:38, and I realized that I had my settings on normal, like during the day when there's a lot of sun out, so first part of the video may be a little darker than normal, but I have switched over to a better resolution that hopefully will show up a little better now, and I'll switch that back hopefully when the sun comes up. But still a little early, but hopefully this video will show up a little bit better. And still, this is just the first part of the trail, and you do have this small water crossing, which I had actually forgotten about. So that's kind of nice to see right off the bat. But again, this is Finley Cane Trail. I'm just going to do this one up and back today. It's going to be about 5 miles round trip. Just trying to build my stamina back up. And golly, and as you can see, I'm already fighting the spider webs. So apparently nobody else has been on this trail yet this morning, which makes sense because it is fairly early. But again, Finley Cane up to Bote Mountain, and then turn back around 5 miles round trip. Lead Cove, which is just over here on the other side. You can actually do the loop, Lead Cove to Bote Mountain, and then come back down Finley Cane, or vice versa, and that's closer to about 7.5 miles. I'll probably do that in a week or two, but I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things, to be honest with you. I just hadn't had a chance to hike as much as I would have liked, and the temperatures have been extremely hot here. It's about 70 degrees when I left the house. It's probably closer to maybe, I don't know, 65 here right now, which feels perfect, but it's supposed to be up around 97 degrees today with 100% humidity, so it's going to get really hot and humid quick. So that's why I'm up here so early, trying to get up here and knock this one out. But anyway, let me show a little bit more of the trail. You guys will want to sit here and watch me talk the whole time, so hopefully we'll get some decent shots of the trail, and man, if we're lucky, maybe we'll see a bear. I really hope so. But let's get started. All right, so you'll come up here to this little intersection, and it says Turkey Pen Ridge, which basically just takes you right back across the trail. I am gonna run down here real quick. I'm trying to remember, for some reason I felt like this goes under the road. I don't remember. Let's go check it out real quick. One of these trails I know has like a little, like a tunnel or bridge or something, and this may not be it. Nope, this is the one that I remembered. So where we parked at, like right across the road, was Turkey Pen Ridge. So, but for some reason, if you went this way, you can actually come down through here and go through this. So it's a little bridge that goes over, but then you've got the tunnel to go down through here. And my guess is you're probably not gonna be able to see this at all. But anyway, let's get down through here. And it is a little dark, and I don't have my flashlight on, and we're gonna hope that there's no sneaky snakes out here waiting on me right now. Water's flowing pretty good. But anyway, comes back out over here, and this will take you back over to Turkey Pen Ridge. So totally separate trail. That one's almost 8 miles round trip. But anyway, pretty cool little spot. So let me head back up here to the main trail and get back on Finley Cane that we were gonna do. But I did want to at least show you this, because that is a pretty neat little site here. Not too many trails where you get to go under a little bridge like this. So anyway, and if you were to do this during the heat of the day, this would be a nice cool place to get out of the sun and cool off for a minute. But anyway, let's head back up here. All right, so I'm going to go back through this tunnel now that the sun's up, and you can see a lot better, and hopefully this will give you a little better view of what it looks like. But there's a lot more traffic, so you'll hear some traffic noise. All right, so I'm back here up here at this intersection. So that's where we came from. My truck is literally like a 2-minute walk, so we've not went that far. That's where the little bridge is, and then we're back on the trail again. So Turkey Pen to the left, Finley Cane, we stay to the right. All right, another quick suggestion is when you hike, I wouldn't recommend hiking alone. I do it a lot. Just for the fact that I have a hard time finding anybody that wants to get up this early to come with me and to go on these crazy hikes that I do. But anyway, if you do, I recommend bringing someone with you to hike, so you're not by yourself. make sure they're taller than you and have them walk in the front so they can knock down all these spider webs, because I'm getting a bazillion of them already. But invite a friend, make sure they're taller than you, and have them walk in front. Suggestion. All right, so this is one of the first trails that my wife and I hiked together a couple years ago, and I believe this might have been the first trail, possibly the second one, that we saw a bear on. And literally I've only been hiking about 10 minutes, and it was in this area right here, and we had to stop. He was up on the trail, and once he saw us he took off. But anyway, I was hoping I'd see another one in here, but I don't guess I'm gonna have that kind of luck today. All right, so it's been a while since I've hiked this trail, so I can't remember that much about it. I forgot though that, first of all, the first water crossing, and definitely forgot about this one. But I mean, this is a pretty good one. Definitely breaks up the monotony of some of these trails that are just off in the woods. So I always enjoy a good stream or creek that you can cross over. All right, well, here's another one, another crossing, but I want to show you this. I mean, look at the size of this tree root system that has fallen. So this is definitely newer. So let's get past this and then head over here. So a third stream that you get to cross, which is pretty cool. And I swear I've forgotten about all of these. So, and maybe the last time I hiked it, it was just super dry and there wasn't much water. So definitely got a little bit more water this time, but that is always awesome. Well, I've been pretty fortunate so far. This is the first tree that I've come across that is blocking the path. Park Service has done a pretty good job of keeping this particular trail clear, but this one's pretty recent, so they probably haven't had a chance to get up here and do anything with that one. All right, so this is a hiking trail, but it also is a horse trail, and I have seen lots of evidence of horses recently. But here you have a post that you can actually tie your horses up and take a break. So you do have this spot in the trail, so I thought I would just show you that. Looks like there is a little trail that heads up there. Done that before. It's really no view unless it's winter time when the leaves are off the tree. But anyway, that is another site here on this particular trail. Not much one, but it's something. All right, you can see the sun starting to peek through the trees here, so it's definitely going to warm up. You can hear the birds off in the background too, hopefully. Let me shut up for just a second so you can hear them. All right, let's keep going. All right, so here is another one, which this is kind of odd. All right, there's something moving up in the trees up here. I had started filming about this tree blocking the path, and that they sawed off part of it, but they didn't saw off the main part here across the trail. And then I heard something up here in the woods moving, and it's not something small. It's definitely either a bear or a deer. And I guess, I don't know if I can climb over this thing. Maybe I can. Looks easier than going around. Oh yeah. See if I can tell what's going on up here in the woods though. All right, whatever it is not moving now. I'm hoping this trail circles up back around, so we'll check it out. All right, so We have reached the end of Finley Cane onto Bote Mountain. So Finley Cane 2.5, a little over 5 miles, but I started about 6:30. It's now 8 o'clock, so it took me an hour and a half, so about 3 hours round trip, but just kind of give you an idea of what the trail looks like here. So Bote Mountain down to the road, and Bote Mountain all the way up to the AT, also takes you up to Lead Cove. But I'm gonna head up here real quick, and because this is Bote Mountain circles back up where we just heard something up in the woods, so let's go up here and check it out. All right, well, I've circled back up. It's about as far as I think that what I heard the animal up in the woods earlier. And I just don't think I'm gonna be able to get a good view of anything. I'm gonna go around this curve here just to make sure. Now, well, that's frustrating. But anyway, I definitely heard something. Just couldn't see it. And it was big enough to move the limbs and branches around as it was walking on the ground. So anyway, hopefully it was a bear, but can't count it if you don't see it. Well, this is where I heard the sound earlier, which I thought was a bear, but you can see there's definitely something been digging up through here. In that, I mean, it goes all the way up through, up that side of the mountain. That actually looks more like a wild hog than a bear. And I've not seen any up here yet, and I hope that I don't. But anyway, never could see what that was. All right, do you remember that old game show called Name That Tune? Well, on this episode of Describe That Hiking Trail, I can describe this trail in three syllables. Spider webs everywhere. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many of those I hit. But anyway, the bug spray seemed to have helped as far as keeping the overall flying pests away, but the spider webs were unavoidable. So anyway, that was pretty miserable. Took me, like I said, about an hour and a half to get up here. The All Trails app says this is about 5.2 miles round trip. The sign said 2.8 one way, so that's 5.6 miles. So let's call it 5.5, just to be safe. But probably take you about 3 hours to hike it round trip. Really not much to see other than the few water crossings. You know, you had the horse post up there that you could tie off, and then early on the trail you had that little tunnel that we went under to go back over towards Turkey Pen Ridge, and then this just ends up here at the intersection at Bote Mountain. So really not a lot to see, but if you just want to get out on a trail that won't be very crowded and get out in nature, this is a good one. But I was really hoping to see a bear. Kind of disappointing that I didn't. I've got a friend that I work with that she was actually staying in Gatlinburg Thursday and Friday of this week, and she sent me 3 different pictures of bears. 3 different bears, get this, in a 2-day period. One that was on the side of the road, another one later on looking into her car, and then a third one where there was a couple of cubs out on the hot tub cover outside. So I guess if I want to see any bears, I'm gonna have to go stay in a cabin in Gatlinburg, because I didn't see any on this trail. But anyway, besides that, still a pretty good hike. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. I'd also go ahead and ask that you hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification the next time I publish another video. But as always, remember, just keep walking.